To help us analyze the current situation in the Asian region, we're joined from Hong Kong by the geopolitical analyst, PhD researcher at the University of Manchester, Marvin Lee. Thank you, sir, for joining us here on Qnews. Sir, let's start off by asking you, what does China's decision to restore the US soybean import license and lift the log import ban tell us about the current situation when it comes to US-Chinese trade relations?
Assalamu alaikum. Thanks for having me. Barakallahu fiqh. From the Chinese perspective, this represents a tactical unfreeze within a control framework. So what does it mean? By restoring import license for three American soybean companies and lifting the bans on the US log from the 10th of November, Beijing is signaling a selective goodwill in sectors that are low sensitivity and high stability, such as agriculture and forestry. And this move stabilized market expectations without changing the overall tariff structure. And according to Reuters, China's decision followed recent high-level diplomatic engagement between Beijing and Washington. And in the author of The Art of War, Sun Tzu said, to subdue the enemy without fighting in the vacuum of skills. So which means that China is using limited concessions in non-strategic areas to cool down tensions and build leverage for more important negotiation ahead. And don't forget that all those American farmers are the President Donald Trump's core supporters. So which means that China has been leveraging the soybean restrictions or the purchase of soybean as a game card to fight against Trump's aggressive policy against the China's free trade willingness to the rest of the world.
So, given what you just said there, how significant is this move for the US agricultural exporters as well as the global commodity markets?
So it brings marginal relief but remains strategically constrained. So in 2025, as of the 31st of August, 2025, China import around 70 million tons of soybeans, 4% increase year on year, but 70% came from Brazil, not USA. And US export to China have sharply declined compared to pre-trade war levels. So in early 2025 this year, Brazil shipped around 48.5 million tons of soybean to China, roughly 70% of China's total import. And in September and October, records volume continue to arrive primarily from Brazil. So which means that the US farmers will benefit from new orders and improved sentiments, but regaining pre-2018 market share is unlikely soon. So let's imagine that China is holding a very powerful weapon against USA. So if you would like to kickstart another trade war again, we will attack your core supporters without any hesitations. So China right now and China in 2016 is very different. China right now, they are more confident and they are ready to deal with any situation with the US. Of course, we would like to make any peace terms with US as well.
Well, as you said there, that China is fully ready to take on the US, but also they have the 10% tariff on US imports still in place. How much real progress can we talk about here when it comes to representing an easing of trade tensions between these two major power players?
This is a very good question. Honestly, this is a tactical de-escalation, not a structural reconciliation between both sides. The 10% US tariff baseline remains here, and according to ongoing congressional and trading monitoring reports. And as long as the framework stands, American soybeans remain at a price disadvantage compared to Brazil, even Argentina, and China's flexibility remains limited. And please bear in mind that China would like to promote the so-called Chinese yen and soybeans circulation, which means to buy soybeans with Chinese yen instead of USD. So if Donald Trump would like to take a hardline approach against China, which means that to push China to promote Chinese yen to the rest of the world, especially to the BRICS countries in the long term. So China will definitely win the war by pushing them into other way.
Let's talk about the rare earths here. Now, China is also introducing a new rare earths export licensing system. How will this affect the global manufacturing in general? That depends mainly on this material. We're seeing the Americans trying to circumvent the Chinese through other deals across the region.
This is another good question here. So no country on this planet can bypass China's export of rare earth. So you would like to manufacture F-45, 35 jet fighters. You would like to produce AI chips from like NVIDIA. You all need rare earth. And there's only one country that has the capability to dig the rare earth and even refine it and even to process it, and that is China. Because China, there used to be a very powerful country that did not focus on environmental regulation. So that's why China has the upper hand to do all the rare earth export control or export licensing system. And President Xi Jinping has been playing a very upper position to play against the American and even the Western allies and even Japan, even though they have an alliance between among these countries. So in the short term and in the long term, they still need to rely on the Chinese, the rare earth control by the Chinese world.
So, in your opinion, that basically this is when it comes to rare earths specifically, this is a losing game for the Americans, even though now that we've seen them sign a partnership with the Japanese to develop rare earth deposits there.
Yes, that's right.
Could you tell us more about these deposits in Japan? Is it going to at least fulfill partially U.S. needs when it comes to rare earths?
Honestly, let me give you evidence or data first. So back in 2010, Japan used to rely on the Chinese rare earth so much, 90% are from China. But because of the Chinese ban on the Japan in 2010 or 2011, and Japan successfully lower the percentage from 90% to 60%. But bear in mind, the 60% is still a very big number here. So they would like to develop another kind of technology just to bypass the China's choke point about the rare earth against Japanese and the American. But I don't think they can make it because you need a very big market, a very big motivation, and even um, and even and policies to promote this. And bear in mind that they are all democratic countries, which means that environmental regulations, all those policies, all those opposing force will drag down their the progress to bypass Chinese rare earth.
Okay, from Hong Kong, that was the geopolitical analyst and PhD researcher from the University of Manchester, Marvin Lee. Thank you so much for your insights as usual.